Welcome to the Humble Hoof podcast. My name is Alicia Harlov. This is a podcast for both horse owners and hoofcare professionals, offering discussions into various philosophies on the health of the hoof and soundness of your horse. Please check us out on Facebook or at thehumblehoof.com.
Trying to choose the right supplements for the right horses often feels like a chore, and you have enough chores as it is. Fortunately, there's Equithrive, whose mission is to make this whole nutrition equation easier on you and much more beneficial to your horses. Equithrive's lineup of pelleted supplements are developed with care, backed by science, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Not to mention picky eater approved. Whether you need advanced joint care for your equine athlete, gut, or metabolic support, Equithrive is your one-stop shop for feed tub fortification. Do your horses and yourself a favor and visit equithrive.com. Use the promo code HumbleHoof and get 20% off your first order, plus free and fast shipping nationwide. Don't forget to use HumbleHoof, all one word, to get 20% off your first order at equithrive.com.
A special thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Cavallo. For our Humble Hoof listeners, they are offering 20% off their Cavallo Trek hoof boots using the coupon code HRN at checkout. The Trek is the world's most popular and versatile hoof boot and Cavallo's toughest trail boot, while also doubling as an option for therapy or rehab. The front closure system makes it easily adaptable to various hoof shapes, and TPU upper design allows for maximum strength while minimizing weight for the comfort and ease of movement for your horse. These are recommended by vets and trainers and also loved as transport boots by barrel racers, show jumpers, dressage riders, and everyone in between. Again, for 20% off a pair of Treks, use the code HRN at checkout at cavallo-inc.com. Some of you know that about a week and a half ago, we had the Progressive Hoofcare Practitioners Conference in Chicago, Illinois, and it was fantastic. We had Dr. David Rendell, Dr. Jenny Hagan, Wendy Murdoch, Ida Hammer, and Celeste Lazaris giving some fantastic talks. And there were so many great points of the conference. I actually have typed up a handful of takeaways for my Facebook page that I've been doing posts from the different speakers and what I learned from each of them. But at the end of the conference, I decided to walk around and ask some of the participants and some of the attendees what they have learned or what they've enjoyed about the conference so far. So this isn't your typical podcast episode that you get from the Humble Hoof, but I thought that I would share some of the things that some of these people have learned and enjoyed while they were in Chicago, and maybe something to mark on your calendar for the next time we have a conference. All right, we're walking around and trying to grab people to say something that maybe, like, it can be a one sentence thing if you want, of something you've learned so far at the conference. You can not say anything if we can also come back if you want to think about it. Did you want to say anything about something you learned at the conference?
My name's Cassidy Hansen, and I'm from Northern California. The conference was great. It was really mind-opening and a little mind-blowing as well. I think my biggest takeaway is how connected the hooves are to the body. I think so often as hoof care providers, we're trying to treat the feet and the problems we're seeing in the feet, and sometimes we're missing the wear patterns that keep recurring, or maybe a sudden wear pattern that has popped up, and not really asking the client and going back to maybe something has changed with the saddle or the rider being injured or things like that. So how connected the body is to the feet was a huge takeaway for me, and something that I'm going to implement into my hoof care practice.
Molly from California. My mind was blown this weekend. I just thinking of all the horses in my practice in a different light and their body functions and suggestions for owners on things to look at.
I'm Sarah from San Diego, California, and the thing that I always enjoy the most about these conferences is all of the discussions that are sparked between all of the different attendees and the presenters, and how many light bulb moments I have while I'm here and ways that I can bring new skill sets to help horses in my practice.
I'm Michaela from Vermont, and I think the biggest benefit of these events is just getting all the different perspectives from different arenas, and just all the puzzle pieces coming together, and thinking about specific horses and how, the puzzle piece that's been missing isn't necessarily Hoofcare related. It's like it's body related. It might be internal medicine related. So yeah, just so many great light bulb moments and discussions and everything. It's really inspiring and enriching, and just my mind is buzzing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want to share something that you liked about the conference or learned or whatever for the podcast? It is.
Janine McCurry from New York, Long Island. I absolutely love Dr. Dave Rendell. That was my favoriteest part.
Yep.
So my name is Lyric Mayo. I'm from Long Island, New York. And something that I always love about the conferences is getting together with so many like-minded people, getting to pick their brain, getting advice from them, giving advice, and having Janine make fun of me. So
Make fun of all of us. We're all part of that.
literally, at least now I don't have all of them. Just share the love.
I love everything.
I'm Ruthie from Washington State, and what I thought was most impressive today at the conference was Celeste Lazarius' talk and how the thoracic and sacral nerve bundles, which supply the feet and legs and hooves, so directly affect blood flow there and hoof health. It's kind of one of the missing pieces when we're unable to help a horse we might want to look into to really help them come along.
Hi, I'm Karen Ward from Mountain Home, Idaho. I've been with PHCP since about 2015, and this is my third conference. They get so many really qualified people to be the speakers at the conference, and I was very impressed with all the speakers. I think I found Dr. David Rendell's talk most helpful to me because I understood a lot of what he was talking about, but he gave me a lot of further insight into the causes of laminitis and how to test for it and what to do about it. And but anyway, thanks to everybody that worked on this.
Thank you.
So the first talk, like right off the bat, blew my socks off, with Jenny Hagan starting with talking about the shoulders and the neck being a source of pain and discomfort in horses' feet, and the fact that they go to the ligaments and tendons to start holding themselves up because they're so weak in their shoulders and their neck, or they're just holding their neck in particular improperly. It's something that I've always wondered about, but I never drew that exact correlation to their feet. So that right off the bat was one of the biggest takeaways for me. It was awesome.
What I learned is I really like this group.
It is a good group.
It's a fabulous group. I feel very at home in this tribe, so I'm really happy about that. Wendy Murdoch.
Lindy Griffith from Wesley Chapel, Florida, with Hoof Boots and Beyond. I was thrilled and blessed to hear Ida Hammer's presentation relative to the rehab and also posture on horses. It gave me so much to think about. It was so insightful relative to my posture on the horse and all the things that could impact the horse's feet. Looking at the hoof pathology and how it's done blows my mind. I have so many things that I've learned, and I'm really thankful that she was able to come and share her wisdom with us. And I'm looking forward to the next conference.
Okay, Philip Himanka. I'm from Colorado, and this has been awesome. I learned a lot about PPID and insulin resistance, the new drugs that are just having results all over the board that are great, the postural things, the medial lateral balance. It's been awesome. And not only that, but actually interacting with all these fantastic Hoofcare professionals that are really good. And probably 90% of my questions that I had talking with people have been clearly answered. So I'm super happy. I'm walking on the clouds. Yeah.
My name is Sydney Pfeiffer, and I'm from Amesbury, Massachusetts, at the Humble Hoof Farm. And it was super cool to learn more about PPID from Dr. Rendell, and really break down how PPID actually works and why it affects the horses in the way that it does. And it was cool to learn the ins and outs of how to manage it and what to look out for with these horses and recheck so that we can make sure that we give them the best care and quality of life that we possibly can. So yeah, it's been super cool.
So I'm Shelby Helmricks. I'm out of New Mexico, middle of nowhere. I've loved coming to this. This is my first one. A lot of it was confirmation of things that I already did and a lot of one-off information and connections and some cool technical stuff that I get to actually use now and maybe know what people are talking about. And I absolutely adored it, and I'll try to come back next time.
My name is Megan Lagacy. I live in Peyton, Colorado. I'm a full-time trimmer, and this is my first PHCP conference, and it was really awesome to get to meet all kinds of people and put faces to voices that I've always known from podcasts. I really liked learning from veterinarians and also from Hoofcare providers so that I could have some validation for what I'm already doing and learn new techniques, and hopefully I can go home and put it all to practice. Awesome. So definitely come again.
My name's Lori Fleener, and I'm from Tennessee, and I have loved the conference. It's hard to get us off the farm sometimes. You guys know how it is being so busy, but it's always a blast to get together with other like-minded people and just have someone to talk to about what you're going through, struggles that you're having, or successes that you've had, and just to be in a community of other learners and people that care so much about what they do is just really fulfilling. It just fills your tank so that you can go home and work a little bit harder.
All right.
Just say your name, where you're from, and what you learned, what you enjoyed about this conference.
Sure, yeah. I'm Rachel Lynn from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I really enjoyed the presentation by Dr. Rendell. I thought his talk about obesity in horses was super informative and included a lot of perspectives that I hadn't heard before. It's not just about lifestyle and diet and management, those things that we all know, but owner psychology as well, and peer-reviewed research into different and new medications.
And when Wendy was going around pushing people, like, oh, maybe if she comes over here, I might need to tense up. And thinking about walking through a barn and the horse not knowing if you're coming to them or passing by, like, oh, is she going to do something to me? Or, oh, no, phew, she's gone.
Yeah,
good.
Well, just like that, like your body doesn't know if it's a saber-toothed tiger that's coming to you or just like somebody like cutting you off in line or whatever. Is that what she's comparing it?
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Something that activates that stress response. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's being afraid of a fight, a car cutting you off and avoiding an accident. It doesn't matter if like you missed the bottom step on a step of stairs and like you almost fall on your face, or if it's just like, woo, like somebody fell over and like,
or like Wendy walking from the shoulder to the butt.
Yeah.
Right.
The amount of like saddlebreds and Morgans that people are just like, oh, they just have crazy eyes. It's just how they are. But like, they're all just standing in their stalls like, they're going to be doing this all day because they don't know when somebody's going to take them out and tie them up.
They're just in panic mode all the time.
They're always just...
Wait, they tie them up and whip them?
Tie them up, like, put a draw rein on.
Oh, I was thinking that's abuse. We should be calling somebody about
No,
but it is, right?
Yeah.
She just described it
tie them
slightly
up in that
differently.
way, like, restrain them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, I think in the horse world and human world, we're really all coming to understand how impactful stress and cortisol is on the body.
Yeah.
So my head mayor wears the weight of the world on her shoulders. She's always so stressed. And I've been doing Celeste's work with her for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, and she's making such slow progress.
Oh.
And her insulin levels are high, but she's a thin warm blood. And I'm putting like all these little connections together. Like maybe all that stress that she feels is having an impact on her insulin levels, like how much she can handle in life. I think. But this horse is not the type of horse to have a metabolic problem. She's like almost completely thoroughbred with a little bit of paint and corridors. But so she's technically a duck warm blood, but she's not. And I'm just curious about all that stress. Like she's learned to come down into pillar 1, which is her first step for nerve release, and relax. And she's actually, I see a lot more in the paddock that she's doing it on her own voluntarily. So I wonder if I test her insulin levels again now, if they'll be lower.
This is Christina Weinmeller with Hometown Hoofcare from Prescott, Arizona. And this was the first PHCP conference I had ever been to. I was blown away by how seamless everything went, from the schedule to how comfortable the accommodations were, how good the food was. The presenters were absolutely excellent and kind, generous with their time. I learned so much, and my career and what I do for horses is honestly forever changed just from this one event and the incredible experiences and information that I was exposed to. Thank you so much to the scholarship committee and anyone who has ever donated to the scholarship fund or helped promote it and bring awareness to PHCP and what it does for hoof care providers all over the nation and the world, honestly. I was able to attend because I'm a scholarship recipient, and I can help so many more horses now because of it. So thank you so much.
I always say that I'm slightly more hoof obsessed than the average person, and chances are, if you're listening to a hoof care podcast, you are too. So we should probably be friends. Feel free to find me on Facebook or email me at thehumblehoof@gmail.com.